Hello, everyone. Welcome to SpaSOS Business Masterclass. My name is Sherrie, Tennessee, and I am so happy to have you here with us today. So I don't have a guest. I have been working on a variety of projects, and I just kind of wanted to have a conversation. I've been working with schools, new graduates, people in the industry, or who are interested in getting into the industry. And one of the questions that I continue to hear is, how do you overcome this topic of fear of failure, as well as fear of success? So I just wanted to share my insight as a spa owner, spa director, someone who's been in the industry for a little while. So with that, I wanted to start with, excuse me, notes dropped. One of the questions that I have gotten lately is, what do I wish I had known when I started? And that's a very interesting question because you just can't know it all. There's so much information. It's an ever-changing industry. The one thing that I would say, though, is really staying current, going to the different spa sites. There's quite a few: Skin Inc., Face and Body, the Vol Esthétique, IECSC, and really getting familiar. It was a 3-year process from probably idea to actually realization of wanting to own a spa. We had business advisors. I found a wonderful business partner. And it was a lot of work and effort that went into it. What I wish I had known in the beginning is that it was a business and not a child. And I will talk about that a little bit more later, because I did kind of cloud some of my decisions and actions. What I would also say is, have that constant check-in with what's happening in the industry and what you're offering on that menu. Because, we had things that we absolutely loved and thought were fantastic, but the clients did not. And, we loved it, but they didn't buy it. So I wish I had, had that mindset to really kind of do that check-in, and do that assessment of what was happening. But yeah, that's probably the advice that I would say as far as what I wish I knew when I started. The other thing was, how did I prepare for success as well as for failure? And I think the one thing with me is I was very grounded. It was a very humbling experience. Even though I wore the title of co-owner of the spa, I was still doing services. I was folding laundry. I was cleaning toilets. I was sweeping the front stoop. So, within a few months of us opening, we had accolades in various magazines, and, we're best spa, best green spa, voted best massage therapist, all of that. But I'm still going in, and I'm still, we didn't have a cleaning crew. So I'm still going in and cleaning up. So that really helped me with the successes, that I remained grounded. As far as the failure, I think we really have to look at failure in a whole new light. And that definitely came from one of my mentors, where he appreciated that I had opened and closed a spa and selected me over other candidates to teach a spa management class, because there is something to be said on being able to bounce back when things don't go the way that you had anticipated. So I definitely think, you can't have the fear of it. I think being grounded, having a great support team, so that when things are great, yeah, you have someone to cheer in your corner. And when things are not going so great, you still have someone to yay and cheer in your corner. So I don't think, I really don't feel, not say think, I don't feel that you can prepare for everything that is happening in the world. I mean, there was 9/11, there was the Great Recession, there was COVID. Like, no one planned for any of those things. So sometimes it just may be beyond your control, whether that is success or failure. But just having a solid foundation in who you are and a good support team is going to help you navigate through all of those instances, regardless of what's happening. One of the questions that I've also gotten lately is, what did I learn from the experience of being a spa owner? And I have to say, I learned so much. It's much more intricate and detailed and time consuming when you want to do it the right way. I mean, we shopped for curtains for almost 6 months, and to this day, I still don't look for curtains. I'm like, I don't want them. I get traumatized by that. But we were really creating a brand. We were one of the first organic locations in Baltimore. So we had cork floors, low VOC paint. We were going for this, certain color palette, certain vibe and feel. And that required a lot of thought just effort into that. So when I look at what did I learn from that experience, I do know how to open a business. I do know the details that go into that. And that skill set serves me in my role as a professor. That skill set serves me in my role as the director. It really does, in understanding the effort and the work and the consistency, even when you feel like things are not moving forward, is such a valuable skill set to have. It also just trained me on wearing so many different hats because, as I said, I was a therapist, I was the nail tech, I was the marketing director, I was payroll specialist, and I was Saturday night cleanup girl. Like I closed the spa on Saturday night. So, within all of that, it helped me to understand what does marketing look like, what needs to go into payroll. I realized how many sheets we went through and having a black card at Staples for all the paper that we went through. So all of that knowledge and experience I never would have had before. And I'm so grateful to be able to take away that knowledge. The question that I also get quite frequently has been, is there anything I would have done differently? And I am not a person for regret. I feel like everything happens divinely and ordered if we just trust the process. So I have to be honest though, I did not feel that in the midst of closing. I was devastated. It was like losing a child, and I said that earlier. But if there was one thing I would have changed is I would have listened to the signs earlier. So we saw the Great Recession coming. And my business partner came to me probably November and December, and she's like, hey, things are really slowing down. We should probably have a conversation about closing. And I just thought about all the time, all the effort, all the money, all the sleepless nights, everything that had been invested into this business. It really had become a part of me and my personality. And because I was so emotionally attached, I couldn't really separate the business from myself to see, yeah, this is probably not going to survive much longer. We should probably take those steps. So if there's anything that I would have done differently in the entire process, one, I probably would have gone to nail school earlier. Their nail techs were so hard to find, and we probably were a year in. And I had to go to nail tech school because we couldn't find a nail tech. And that served the business very well until we were able to get some other people on board. But the other thing that I would have done differently is we probably would have closed in January versus May instead of kind of stretching it out with the hopes of things getting better. So that would definitely be something I would have done differently. And that would be a piece of advice that I would give as well. We always kind of close out the show with what would be one piece of advice that I would give. The first piece would be, don't wait until it's perfect. So I live on this platform of Well World TV. Deborah Kay is the CEO of the company. And we always joke that if you're not ashamed of your first effort, then you probably waited too long to launch. And that is true in recording videos. That's true in launching businesses and opening locations. Don't wait until you feel like it's absolutely positively perfect because somebody's probably already done it, or you'll never achieve that status. If you want to open a spa, if you want to open a nail bar, a brow bar, eyelash location, whatever that is, maybe you go into a one-room situation, build up your clientele, and then you're able to expand your space. But waiting until like the market is right or until you have everything perfectly aligned is only going to continue to delay that process. I'm going to give you a second piece of advice, and that again is see it as a business. What you do for a profession doesn't define who you are as an individual. And it did take me a while to kind of separate those two pieces out when I was a spa owner. That was kind of who I was and what I did. And it did take a little bit longer to be able to step away and see that it really was a problem because of that emotional attachment. It's nice to have in that pride and putting that effort into it, but also knowing when to say when. The other piece that I would say is Having a business and business partner is the same thing as going into a marriage. So have a prenup. And that's probably the one thing that I'm so glad that we had the foresight to do at the opening of the location is we went to our attorney, we had the prenup drawn up. If the business should close, here's how things were going to happen. Similar to marriage and partnerships, when money get bad or, when there's money troubles, there could be some rockiness in the communication and interaction between the two parties. And we were not the exception to that. But I do want to thank Shelly. She's been so amazing and always so supportive. And I know I couldn't have been here or done the business without her. So Shelly Birnbaum, I definitely love you and appreciate you. With that, I want to thank Well World TV for giving us the time and space to be able to have this conversation. You saw it before. Let me show it to you again. If you want to reach me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you can reach me at the SpaSOS. I welcome your questions. And until next time, thank you so much.